Hello everyone, Dr. Makiba here, coming today to talk to you about one of the most important topics that I have ever given thought to, and that is the importance of emotional intelligence with kids. I'm not quite sure how many parents out there even give thought to the need for a balanced emotional state of mind, but what I'm learning in just research, I've done a lot of research on various topics, and the research that I've done on emotional intelligence wasn't something that I went about doing on purpose. It was an article that I read and it intrigued me a little bit. So I actually went and did a little bit more research on the topic of emotional intelligence and came to find out that in the workplace today, emotional intelligence is one of the top deciding factors in terms of keeping people on, or bosses or supervisors looking to see if, people are actually workplace material. And so I took it a step further and just kind of applied it to the younger generation and, kids. And since that's my whole specialty and area of, expertise, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So throughout the time of me being a teacher and working, I held a few different positions when I was in the educational field. I was a teacher, I was a district mentor, I was a coach. There's a couple of different things, and so I was able to talk to different parents on different levels. And even in my tutoring company, one of the things that I've had parents, say to me is, I just don't understand why my child does this. I don't understand why my child is showing this, in this space, and he's not showing this in this space at home. And it comes up a lot when we have, parent-teacher conferences, and the teacher is trying to tell the parent, this is what your child is doing, but you as a parent has never seen that before, and so you're trying to debate the fact, or you're trying to defend, the fact that this is not my child. And I often tell parents, your child is almost like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Like we see different versions of children in different spaces. Gotta believe that. But I think a big chunk of that has to do with emotional intelligence and how kids actually deal with their emotions. I've seen kids break down for no reason, or break down for something that seems very slight to you or to me as an adult, but is really huge in the mind of the child. And I think that because children don't have that that understanding of how to deal with their feelings or how to recognize their feelings, then they approach things in so many different ways that are not necessarily needed. So to the parents out there, I know that, in your head, you want to be like this perfect parent. You want to make sure that you're raising these children, and you want to be able to feel like you're doing the best job ever in doing that. Of course, I've come to tell you, I've been around a lot of parents over the last several years. I've taught thousands of children over the past several years. And I know that there is no such thing as the perfect parent. And your job is not to be the perfect parent. Your job is to be the most effective parent for your child. The most effective parent for your child. And so if I had children, the way that I parent my children is not going to mimic the way that you parent your child. The way that I parent my child is going to be effective for the way that my child is. Okay, the dynamics of our family structure, the dynamics of how we are as individuals, and then how you deal with your children is how you parent them based on all of those different factors in your particular household. So I wanted to make that, make that abundantly clear, and that being a parent is not about being a perfect parent. Being a parent is about being an effective parent. And in terms of that, looking at emotional intelligence, I believe that it is importante, okay, that you put time, energy, and effort into sitting your child down and talking to them about the nature of their emotions. Why are they feeling a certain way? Why did you get upset about that? Sometimes our children just get upset and they blow up, and we can't even begin to understand why, but in their head, they can explain everything about why. They can explain their feelings to themselves. They just can't vocalize it to anyone else. So as parents, our job, and I say parents in, even with what I do, as parents, as a mentor, as an influencer, as a teacher, as an educator, whatever, our job is to pull out of them ways that will help them to better deal with their emotions. I'm telling you now, we're in 2018, and as we progress in time, emotional intelligence along with social intelligence is going to become two of the most, if not the most important factors in attaining jobs in the job market. Emotional intelligence is huge. So I just want to read something really quick before I go. This is from an article that I did some research on in Psychology Today. And basically it says, when you teach kids emotional intelligence, how to recognize their feelings, understand where they come from, and learn how to deal with them, you teach them the most essential skills for their success in life. Research has shown that emotional intelligence predicts over 54% of the variation in success, relationships, effectiveness, health, quality of life, and additional data also concludes that young people with high EQ or emotional earn higher grades, they stay in school, and they make healthier choices. So we don't always see that emotional intelligence contributes to so many different components of a person's life. Just think of yourself as an adult. You have it all together, right? You have it all together. And we still, as adults, have emotional issues. We can't deal with certain situations that we go through emotionally. So how do we expect children who are just little people to deal with their emotions in a way that will allow them to understand what they're doing? It probably won't happen. So we have to be able to, and I put this on parents in the beginning. You definitely want to seek help, and you want to get a team together to help you kind of, dive through all of this. But parents first, you know your child. No one knows your child better than you. So you're the first person who's going to have the attempt, to be able to make the best attempt at doing this. I can't talk today. So I just want to talk a little bit about emotional intelligence. I can talk about this for days. And I may even write a blog post about this because I really believe it's important. Very important that children know how to deal with their emotions and that they know how to socialize and work as a team and do things together, because that is going to be the direction of how everything is going to go sooner rather than later. All right, so I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you something to think about. My name is Dr. Makiba, and I am out.